In terms of moral behaviour, in adolescence we're going to have a look at aggression and bullying in particular. We'll start off with developmental trends in aggression. During adolescence, overt, which is physical or verbal aggression, declines because young people become better regulated, they're more able to use language to communicate their needs and frustrations, and they learn that negotiation and sharing can work. However, hostile aggression increases, especially among boys. Why is that? Older children are more proficient role takers, and they're better able to infer motives and intentions of other people. What that means is that if one of their companions behaves in a deliberately harmful or provocative way, the adolescent is more likely to detect the aggressive intent involved in that behaviour and retaliate to it. Now, when cues are very, very obvious to children as opposed to adolescents, let's say 3-year-olds, a 3-year-old will also retaliate. One of the other challenges around developmental trends in aggression is that point where even if a young person knows that behaviour is not directed towards them, is not intentionally aggressive, they may still retaliate, because retaliatory aggression, such as fighting back, is viewed as a normal response and is a socially acceptable response in some elements of our society. Let's have a look at the example of Crick and Grotpeter. What we see here is that while there's an pretty much equal proportion of boys and girls who are non-aggressive or aggressive, what is not evenly distributed is the type of aggression. So you can see that boys, 27% of boys are likely to be aggressive, and 22% of girls are likely to be aggressive. And the girls are significantly more relationally aggressive, whereas the boys are more overtly aggressive. Now, the results from this research also indicated that relationally aggressive children in this cohort here, may be at risk for serious adjustment difficulties. They were significantly more rejected than their peers and reported significantly higher levels of loneliness, depression and isolation relative to the non-relationally aggressive peers. When we think about peer bullying and victimisation, so the statistics here are from the US study. And you can see this study was a nationally representative sample of more than 15,000 Year 6 to Year 10 students. And this is a study from Mansell et al. In 2001. And their findings are listed here. One of the things that's particularly interesting from this study is that bullies can be popular. They have perceived popularity during adolescence. They can be viewed as cool for having an ability to convince their victims and others to comply with their wishes. This is not the case for all bullies. Now, what about some Australian research? Let's have a look at that. So this is from, as you can see, from a snapshot of bullying there in Australian schools, whereas the American data from, I'll just drop back, the American data from 2001 said 1/3 report having been bullied. This data is much more recent and it is Australian, and it says 3 in 5 Australian students have reported bullying. This is a major problem that our schools need to address. So how can we prevent bullying? There's a lot of research happening in this space, unsurprisingly. So Brackett and Associates have introduced the concept of social and emotional learning, and most schools now, certainly in the ACT, are delivering social and emotional learning. So Brackett's research is about teaching students and teachers emotional literacy and building the quality of social and emotional interactions in the classroom. And so there's 5 key emotion skills that are listed on the slide here, and the results from the implementation of this program saw decreases in bullying and aggression in years 5 and 6. So some of the types of things that are taught in the Waller approach is giving tips for witnesses of bullying. So they could choose to not give the bully an audience by walking away, and this shows the bully that mean behaviour is not funny or okay, or the witness might speak up and tell the bully that what he or she is doing is wrong. Young people, children and adults can stand up for each other, and when one person stands up, others may have more confidence to do the same. So there's lots of strategies involved in social teaching about bullying prevention and equipping students with the resources that they need to reduce bullying or prevent it in the first place. Let's have a look at another example of preventing bullying, another program. So this was training provided to teachers with workshops including live modelling and videotaped examples, and the teachers implemented the program as part of their classes, so it could have been in health or life skills or social studies or English. Now, as you can see, we're teaching social and emotional learning again. We're using skills application lessons, so we're actually teaching our students how to make a complaint, how to deal with peer pressure, how to deal with rudeness. So relative to the non-participants in the program, in second step students in year 8 decreased their overall endorsement of aggression and their perceived difficulty of performing social skills. The program effects were less consistent for students in year 7. So then we continue along. So our teens with poor peer relationships are more likely to be low achievers and have those negative behaviours. And in terms of group development, when we're promoting learning development with peers, this is what we're looking to do. This is what we want our young people to be able to do.